Good evening, I'm Camelia, and this is KiniNews. Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim has warned against going overboard on the Sinchu daily flag issue. He said legal processes must be allowed to run its course. Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim said the incorrect flag Sinchu daily published is not a small issue. However, he warned the public against going overboard. When asked for his comments on the issue during a press conference in Thailand today, Anwar said the legal process must take priority.
Untuk mana-mana negara pun ya, suap bendera itu simbol yang sangat penting. Jadi saya nasihatkan supaya kita berhati-hati ya. Tapi tentulah bagi ruang Sinchu bagi penjelasan atas kesilapan dan mohon maafnya. Tetapi ini bukan soal yang ringan. Dan ini biarlah proses undang-undang, tapi saya juga beritahu supaya janganlah nampak kita agak bertindak lebih-lebihan hanya semata-mata kerana tuntutan. Dia kena ikut proses undang-undang.
On Tuesday, the Chinese language newspaper published an illustration of the Jalur Gemilang on its front page that was missing the crescent moon. Sinchu had since apologized for the mistake and published a corrected version of the illustration in the next day's edition. It has also suspended the chief editor responsible for approving the publication of the illustration and the deputy chief sub-editor as the graphic designer behind the image. Earlier, several Malay rights activists had held a small protest outside of Sinchu Daily's PJ headquarters. The group called for Sinchu to sack the two editors responsible for the Jalur Gemilang mistake. Perkasa has urged Sinchu Daily to sack two of its editorial members who were responsible for the publication of an incomplete Jalur Gemilang illustration on the newspaper's front page. Perkasa Youth Chief Zul Amali Hussein and 8 others insisted that they rejected Sinchu's apology following the publication error.
Wilayah Perkasa Malaysia dan NGO ingin mempersoalkan kepada akhbar Sinchu Daily apa niat syarikat akhbar kamu. Wilayah Perkasa Malaysia dan NGO dan Perkasa Malaysia menolak permohonan maaf tiada maaf bagimu daripada syarikat akhbar Sinchu Daily. Wilayah Perkasa Malaysia, NGO menuntut syarikat ini memecat kedua editor. Kita tahu baru-baru ni dia gantung ketua editor dia. Kita nak pecat, minta pecat. Jika tidak, Wilayah Perkasa Malaysia menggesa kerajaan, Kementerian Dalam Negeri menggantungkan lesen penerbitan kepada Sinchu Daily kerana dia jelas telah mencalahkan imej Malaysia di mata dunia dengan kerajaan akhbar tersebut. Dan boleh menjadikan iktibar dan pengajaran kepada mana-mana syarikat akhbar untuk lebih berhati-hati dalam memaparkan gambar Jalur Gemilang negara Malaysia.
Zul said they had lodged a police report at the Dangwangi district station this morning demanding a probe against the alleged act. Earlier, the group had held a protest outside the Chinese daily headquarters in Petaling Jaya. A representative from Sinchu's editorial team accepted the protest memorandum on behalf of the management. Meanwhile, Inspector General of Police Razaruddin Hussain said the two editors had been questioned over the incident. The two were detained to assist with investigations yesterday and released a few hours later. The chief editor and deputy chief sub-editor of Sinchu Daily were detained yesterday to assist in investigations regarding the publication of an incomplete illustration of the Jalur Gemilang on the front page of the newspaper. According to Bernama Inspector General of Police Razaruddin Hussain, confirmed the matter, saying the two individuals were detained for further investigations. He said police detained them for questioning and brought them to the office to retrieve computers and other items related to the case for further investigation. Bernama reported that the two are understood to have been released at 8:20 p.m. Earlier, the duo had their statements recorded over a 3-hour session at the Classified Criminal Investigation Unit office at the Royal Malaysia Police Headquarters in Bukit Aman. The chief editor was reportedly responsible for approving the publication of the illustration, while the deputy chief sub-editor was the graphic designer behind the image. Razaruddin said that so far, police have received 40 reports nationwide regarding the issue. The case is being investigated under Section 3(1)(c) of the Emblems and Names, Prevention of Improper Use Act 1963 and Section 4(1)(b) of the Printing Presses and Publications Act 1984. Sinchu had previously issued an apology for the mistake, stating that it was a technical error and unintentional. Before we move on, consider supporting us by scanning the QR code on the screen and subscribe to Malaysia Kini. Still on the topic, an academic has voiced his concern and dismay over the detention of the editors. This was what he said on the matter. Academic Tajuddin Razdi has expressed his disappointment over the detention of two senior editors from Sinchu Daily. He said that he feels a deep sense of shame in being Malaysian due to the incident. Speaking to Malaysia Kini, Tajuddin said the incident reinforced his long-held belief that our country is teetering on the edge of becoming a failed nation, or perhaps has already fallen into an abyss with no end. He added that he also disagreed with the Daily's decision to suspend the editors for inadvertently publishing an image of the Jalur Gemilang without the crescent moon symbol. The professor of architecture said that since Sinchu has apologized, corrected the mistake, and committed to reviewing its procedures for using artificial intelligence, this should be considered sufficient. Tajuddin said that while many groups cite the divine, there seems to be a glaring lack of divine compassion. He condemned those clinging to a sorry, no-cure attitude and constantly demanding a pound of flesh, saying that they have failed to learn from several incidents, including the KK Mark controversy, the Era FM issue, and the temple relocation case. Sinchu's chief editor and deputy chief sub-editor were detained to assist in investigations yesterday and were released on police bail several hours later. An NGO has urged the Higher Education Ministry to probe claims that UiTM students who had spoken out about the KKK incident had faced punitive action. Suara Rakyat Malaysia has urged the Higher Education Ministry to probe claims of punitive action against University Technology Mara students who spoke against those that had dressed in Ku Klux Klan outfits. In a statement last night, Suaram Executive Director Sevan Dorasami expressed concern about allegations that the students who leaked footage of the controversial incident were barred from leaving the campus. He said the university must clarify whether it is investigating the threatening messages allegedly received by these students from their peers. He added that the institutions must protect, not punish, students who engage in peaceful dissent, especially when that dissent contributes meaningfully to public discourse on human rights. He also urged SUAKAM to independently investigate the claims for violations of students' rights to freedom of expression, academic freedom, and freedom of movement. This came following a claim by Fajar Baru on X yesterday that the UiTM whistleblowers had been barred from leaving campus. The alternative media page cited anonymous sources, adding that the information had been confirmed by other student sources. Khairi Jamaluddin won a defamation suit today. The lawsuit was related to postings on the COVID-19 vaccine. Former Health Minister Khairi Jamaluddin has won a defamation suit and has been awarded 2.5 million ringgit in damages. This was over social media posts related to the COVID-19 vaccine made 3 years ago. Khairi had filed a lawsuit against Rashid Mohamad Alwi, also known as Ustaz Abu Shafiq, for making several defamatory statements and posting 3 photos on his Instagram on October 20th, 2021 and January 6th and 10th, 2022. According to Bernama, he claimed that the defamatory statements meant, among other things, that he lied and deceived the public by claiming that he had been given the COVID-19 vaccine and received the 3rd dose, as well as falsifying information regarding his vaccination status. High Court Judge Raja Ahmad Mohzanuddin Shah Raja Mohzan also awarded 50,000 ringgit in costs to Khairi. In his judgment, the judge said the court found that the impugned statements in their natural and ordinary meaning impute dishonorable or discreditable conduct and a lack of integrity to the plaintiff. He said it tends to lower the plaintiff's reputation in the eyes of right-thinking members of society, which has an adverse and direct effect on his reputation in government and exposes him to hatred, contempt, ridicule, or avoidance by that society. The judge said the statements are damaging to Khairi's ministerial and personal reputation, and as a result, after reviewing the testimony and documents provided, he agreed that the statements are false, baseless, unsubstantiated, and unwarranted. That is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to kinitv.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook for the latest news updates. I'm Camelia. Thanks for watching.